All right, so we have 2 topics left on the wheel. We have Gilts and snowboards, which a lot of people requested, and suspension bindings, which a lot of people have forgotten.
You think I?
So we're going to rock, paper, scissors. If I win, I'll do suspension bindings. You win, you get Gilson?
Yeah.
All right. 1, 2, 3, shoot. 1, 2, 3, shoot. 1, 2, 3, shoot. 1, 2, 3, shoot. 1, 2, 3, shoot.
Damn it!
Yes, I won.
That was solid. Wow.
Yeah.
I haven't had. Damn, that was impressive.
That's right.
We're really good at getting the same thing.
Yes, we are. Okay, so suspension bindings. There's been 2 companies that I've seen do this. The big one was Manic Snow, which the bindings were made out of forged magnesium, which, if anyone remembers the old K2 V8 and V9 and V10 series, they were forged magnesium. Magnesium, great metal, not great in bindings, tends to crack. These things also, with the suspension, were probably about an inch and a half high with hard coils and then a foam in there. And basically, your whole binding becomes a giant dead spot. They were wide, too. I measured them. They were like 14 inches wide.
They were
fucking huge. And they were heavy. Each one was...
there's like metal coils that were...
Yeah, I think they were like 9 pounds each. But it was designed by a bunch of engineers that had gone snowboarding and didn't look... They're like, there's no suspension... Like, I think they came from a car background or something. There's no suspension in snowboarding. I was like, your knees, your ankles? Like, that's...
Yep.
Your body is the natural suspension.
Bend your knees.
Bend your knees. But I remember when they came out, I think they were selling them for like $350 or something, or $500. They were pricey.
Yeah.
They were super. And this is another company that I saw at SIA. They were there 2 years. The first year, they bought the center booth at the Big Four-Way. They were in Vegas, and it was the Big Four-Way. Their booth, like that location, they probably paid $80,000 for. And they came in swinging, and like no one was in their booth except for like the SIA people and other people from companies coming by to look at it and go, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah.
And I wrote an article about them, mocking them, and they decided to get into a pissing match with me. And I was like, "You guys won't be here in 2 years." And you know what? They weren't there in 2 years. No one would buy them. The price was too high. They serve no functionality. Like, I mean, if you really want that dead of a ride, I guess. But at that point, just buy an American-made board with a lot of epoxy in it. Buy an Eversummer.
There is one application. If you're trying to get, like, the land speed record and you just need something that's going to be super, super smooth underfoot. Yeah. That's about it. And the extra weight might keep things a little more stable, but...
Did you ever see the other one that was at SIA that, like... I mean, it was like a full suspension, but it was a plate binding, so it was almost like a hard boot setup. I ran it was in that weird section right before you would get into snowboards. So it was in the skis, but it was kind of like off. I was just walking by and caught out of the corner of my eye. I was like, "What the fuck is that thing?"
Didn't see those. No.
But I mean, they were like a riser suspension, and it was, and they like winged out. They almost looked like an old jack, like a car frame jack. You know, the ones that come out like in the diamond shape, and that's what it looked like. But it was a full suspension for it. These things were awful, but like a suspension binding makes no sense to me, especially with that much of a dead spot.
Yeah, like I like board feel.
You need board feel I was blind for the last 5 years. I snowboarded pretty much till I got my eye surgery. I rode by Braille. I needed to feel what the board was doing.
Yeah, like board feels good. Board flex, good.
Yep.
So many bad and heavy and again complicating things. We've already talked about that. You're raising yourself up above the board, which that fucks everything up. Like there's been so much effort in the last 15, 20 years to get us closer and closer and closer to the board.
And get more feel.
You get more feel
more
and better board flex. So raising yourself up above the board, like it just no.
Just no. That's
engineers need to cool it. If you haven't been snowboarding for 20 years, actually snowboarding for 20 years, and you're an engineer, just don't. No. Don't do it.
Just don't do it.
Don't do it. Your idea is not good.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. It's not good. It's not favored. It's not anything anyone asked for. It's not anything anyone wanted. and the best was, I think one of the arguments guys was like, we won this award in design and this. And I was like, yeah, but it's from a non-snowboarding publication. I don't give a fuck. It's like, do you care if I won an award in snowboarding? No, exactly. Same concept. Yeah. And the other thing was, you should have seen these guys. This was the classic example of the kookiest kooks. It was old, rich, white guys with money. Like, the ORWG, old, rich, white guy. The worst thing in snowboarding. An old, rich, white guy that just throws money at an idea that isn't good. I need to find one of those guys and sell them on the idea of Angry.
Yeah.
And be like, media entity, let's do this. Make money. Give me money. Finance us. But it was, I mean, and they had all original molds for all their parts. Fuck. They spent so much fucking money.
Yeah, you know, like, to cut molds for an aluminum-based binding, I know how much that is.
It's not cheap.
You're looking at upwards of $300,000 to $500,000 for the tooling to make aluminum bindings.
Yep.
That's why Ride updates their chassis every 8 to 10 years.
Yeah.
Because it's that expensive.
They need to get their money back.
Right.
Yeah.
So they easily put probably $1 million into that.
I think they spent like $2.5 million on the whole company idea, and it didn't even make it 2 full years.
No.
It just the classic example of what does snowboarding need? Well, suspension bindings, of course. So we're gonna do it, and it wasn't. It's like it's not anything anyone asked for. I've never needed it. Like there's your knees and your ankles and your hips are your natural suspension.
If you really feel like that you need that much of like shock absorption, that you need suspension, buy something with channel and buy Genesis ESTs or Genesis X ESTs.
Yes.
Because that floating carbon plate underneath your foot does work like that, but it actually doesn't ride like shit.
The review for those are coming out soon too.
Boom.
So there's a bonus fact for you guys.
Yeah, so there is actually one good suspension binding from Burton. Shocking. So all the other ones, if there's a coil in it, basically.
Yeah.
If it's a suspension because there's a coil in it, run away as fast as possible.
Well, that was the thing. There was 4 coils, one on each corner of that binding, and they weren't underfoot. They were off to the side, and then there was this plate, and then there was a hollow spot, so snow would build up, and then they put this foam in there too. So you had a lot of foam.
The foam had to have been for dampening because the coils would have just vibrated.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
I would have been interested to ride a set of these.
Oh, I would have loved
to see how fast the screws vibrated out of the board and loosened.
Yep.
That would have been it. So if anyone out there has a set of Manic Snow bindings, 1, you're an idiot. 2, send them to us at this address because we will do an episode of Can Kevin Carve It.
Sponsored by you.
Sponsored by you. Yeah, we're going to allow the snowboarders of the internet to sponsor Can Kevin Carve It by submitting their boards to us or gear or whatever. Yeah. So, which actually we've only got I think 2 or 3 more episodes before we got to film some more. So
I know we got to get on it pretty soon here.
We should just go to Loveland since we got a longer top to bottom. I'll just buy the tickets. And then we'll get some boards together and go.
Yeah.
So, all right.